I ain't lying. We're hunting Vurhonga today. How many times do you think I can make that joke before everybody stops watching me? Anyway, we're chasing lions and Kudu today. I want to go and hunt grizzly bear, and I keep on, in my free time, going to grind grizzlies, and I'll literally kill like 3 males in an hour, and just not have any interest in streaming that, because that sounds like the most boring stream I could ever do. So, we're on Vurhonga. I didn't want to do pheasants again. We just did that on Friday, I think it was. So, yeah. Thought Vurhonga some lions and Kudu would be a good way to switch it up. Terrible. What's up, Active Dragon? Ben's in here, unsub for that joke. I used to put it in the title and not say it, but I thought it'd be more fun to say it. Oh, anyway, good afternoon, Kane. How's it going, man? Just shot a diamond Kudu. Hey, can I steal your luck? It's amazed me that I haven't gotten another one. Like, I have really hit multiplayer. A couple of runs on my own map. You can see it's the last thing I did. I haven't seen a 5 since very early on. Hey, thank you, Bert. Hey, I would love to get the albino female lion. I was thinking of this too before the stream, because we have the breadwinner multi-mount with the albino Cape Buffalo, diamond lion, and the 2 rare female lions. But there's another multi-mount called Royalty. We have a really nice blonde mythical lion. That particular one, because I like the dark brown better, I really do. But we killed that blonde mythical on stream with the recurve bow. It's one of those, the Warthog stream is the one everybody references, but it's one of those where it went longer than expected. It's just got a cool story with it. I think the dark brown was even bigger. But, we don't have a rare female lion for that. And I'm thinking, like, one day another multi-mount's gonna come out, and I'll probably end up replacing that one anyway. But who knows, if we get a rare female lion and make this multi-mount good enough, maybe I'll look elsewhere. What's up, Hatchet? Sweetness is in here. What's going on, man? Got a Mela Diamond Greatos yesterday. You know, I feel like I see a fair number of Mela Bathides Ibex, a fair few Mela Southeastern Spanish Ibex, and the occasional Mela Ronda. I almost never see anybody post Mela Greatos. That's really, really cool. I appreciate you, Barricade. That's very kind of you. Why would they announce the map so early but no release date? That's a good question. I don't know exactly why they've done that, because it did seem to be very early. It may have been something to do with, like, all the new mechanics and all the new, like, with waterfowl and stuff. Maybe they wanted to get to show it on stream, you know, through JaxyBeard and TK and allow us to experience it in that way. I'm not sure. I don't see an advantage to doing it the way that they've done it, but maybe there's a reason behind it. Fishing Masters, thank you for the super chat, by the way. I certainly appreciate you. I keep forgetting technically we should be shooting the female lions. I went fishing this morning and caught at least a 3-pounder. Nice. Kyle and I went yesterday, and all of our little creek chubs combined did not add up to 3 pounds.
Yeah, but you saw that rainbow trying to chase you down.
Yeah, I was... The best way to weed eat the creek banks here is to get in the water with Crocs and weed eat that way rather than trying to, like, reach down over the bank. It's just not practical. So I was in there, you know, AirPods on, listening to a podcast, and I, like, hear something. I look up, and Kyla's, I don't know what, yelling my name. I don't know. So I take an AirPod out, and she's like, "There's a huge fish or something swimming around you." It's like, what? That's got to be a water snake or something. I don't want anything to do with that. Got out of the water, looked around, didn't see anything. A little while later, kept on weed eating, you know, got back in. There's probably like a 15, 16-inch rainbow trout just swimming around, coming to the surface, getting bugs. And I was like, oh, I can catch that thing on my fly rod. I really want to catch a trout on my, or with a dry fly. I caught one with a nymph. I want to get one topwater. I was like, this is my chance. And then it occurred to me that if I'm walking around in this water, right, I'm making all the noise in the world, not only sloshing around, you know, walking, but running the weed eater, probably this trout is pretty desperate for food if it just does not care. So I let it. Got a diamond whitetail a few days ago. Nice. I should really go to my parents and get my gear and reline my rods. Do you want to know a really weird thing that happened to Kyla? And I don't think it was her fault. She got snagged in a tree, which is very easy to do at this spot. Like, just the rig that works best is a pretty heavily weighted trout magnet. It's like a imitation wax worm. So she snagged in the tree. You know, that happens. I do it plenty of times myself. And somehow in like trying to free the lure, the rod just snapped, and it's a $9 Walmart rod. Like, it's a Shakespeare, you know, nice little ultralight. They're not crazy expensive, but I literally, like, the trip before that, we were fishing, and I think she was snagged in the water, and, you know, had the big bend in the rod, and says something to the effect of, like, it's amazing these don't break, and I said, oh, you can't break these. And then that happened. So, I think what I'm going to do with that is take it, try to do some kind of little, I don't know, I'll make it into some sort of like outdoorsy decor type thing.
You're gonna make it cheesy.
I might, we'll see. Kyla's going to Georgia later this week actually, so I'll have like 9 days to work on something. Bet, yeah, no kidding. Because they are, like, they're incredible. If you're like, because the only times I've ever seen rods break is if somebody is like fishing from a bridge or a really high point and they hook into a heavy fish, right? And it's vertical, pulling on a rod that's really not even meant for fish that size. That'll break them. I've never seen anything else break a rod. Even, you know, I've caught big catfish on ultralights, anything like that. They're just incredibly durable somehow. Because, you know, like it's not... The thing that doesn't make sense to me is a tree branch has a lot of give. Like, it's amazing that could have snapped a rod. I don't get it. I know I just heard another line. Good spot over here. To start playing again after a while, what map should I play? What's that? Is that a Gemsbuck? Dang. One day, I'll see that in the distance and it will be an albino lion. I think Silver Ridge Peaks might be a good map to get you back into things because you don't have to be as knowledgeable about zone times. And by the way, if you want to figure out zone times, join the Discord. We've got spreadsheets in there with literally everything you could ever need to know about zone times, locations, all that stuff. But you can go to Silver Ridge Peaks and run through the fields and find stuff literally all day long. So I think that could be a good move. My dad is the worst with getting his line stuck in trees or power lines. I'm really good at, this is a bad thing by the way, with the fly rod. Like, just forgetting that there's anything behind me. It's amazing. Like, you know, you have to be aware that you're maybe 20 feet, 30 feet of line you're, you know, whipping around. And yet, consistently, I catch trees behind me. How many diamonds do you have? You want to know something funny? That diamond pronghorn over the weekend was diamond 900, and I didn't know it. Obviously, this says 1200. All these stats are incorrect. They've been so for about a year when the Bloodhounds came out. Basically, everything was counted as one tier higher, so like silver's counted as golds, gold's counted as diamonds, diamonds counted as great ones. It's all messed up. But I do know that my diamond count is off by exactly 300, so it should be 900 and not 1200. I seriously think that is the best move, Bottom Boy. Like, you know, basically every day I play Classic anymore. While I'm editing a video, I jump in a tree stand, I'm editing on the side, and, you know, I'll shoot 25 animals in Classic over the course of an hour and a half, 2 hours. It's a lot of fun. Some people probably wouldn't enjoy hunting that way, but fair enough, you can play Classic moving around, too. The thing with tree stands in Call of the Wild, and, you know, tripods and stuff as well, they're useful, but they're not useful in the same way. Like, you can hop in a tree stand in Classic and sit there and call and see animals for like 3 hours straight. You're not going to do that in Call of the Wild. Like, unless it's over a zone, you're just not going to see stuff consistently. Maybe when they pass through changing zones, that's kind of it. He said Bottom Boy? That is his name. I can call him Sir William the 12th if you want. That's what I should have said in the West Virginia video.
Yes.
We're down here with Sir William the 12th.
What is it?
Bottomland Oasis.
Bottomland Oasis.
Next time. Your name seems familiar to a Minecraft item. Is it Flint and Steel? Or just Flint? I didn't play Minecraft, and my name doesn't come from Minecraft. My name actually comes from a Cabela's Dangerous Hunts game. Dangerous Hunts 2009. What is the best time on Silver Ridge Peaks?
Say 6 a.m.
It depends. Yeah, I mean, early morning is good because there's almost nothing resting, so you'll see stuff in the fields, you'll see stuff drinking. Afternoon is quite good. Bears do have a longer drink zone, about 1500 to 1900. And you also will get mountain lion and elk drinking in those windows. Yeah, it depends on what you're after, but basically any time on SRP, that's the good thing about it. Spotted an albino black bear. There are no albino black bears. Could it be a blonde? What's the biggest fish you've caught? Not that big. I mean, if you want... I was really impressed. She was sleeping for all that time. I know. If you want, like, pure size... I mean, I've had, like, you know, 6-ish pound catfish that are 30 inches long or so. But I feel like, relative to other catfish, that's not that big. I got like an 18-inch rainbow not that long ago that was maybe 3 pounds, like relative to other trout. Maybe that's decent, but yeah, bass, like I've caught 3-pound bass. Again, relative to bass, that's not that special. It depends on, I guess, what specifically you're after, but I'd say like the rainbow that I caught out of our creek relative to other rainbows is about as well as I've done. Grayson, thank you for the super chat and the super sticker, by the way. I appreciate you. No lions here. Oh, what the heck? I thought that was a very red lion for a moment. I think we'll let him go. Just kind of keep it moving. Limited time. What's the name of your rod? Dave? My ultralight is a ugly stick. I think my bass rod's also an ugly stick. And my fly rod... I could not tell you. I don't know what it is. I'd have to go and look. Dave Chappelle, yeah, that's what I name my fishing rod. Well, today would be the day I find an albino raccoon. I think today's the day. So, when I was hunting Mississippi for gators for yesterday's video, I was running around and I got a raccoon warning call. And I pulled up my binoculars, and I see right away this like lightish color. Too light to be a blonde, and I was like, oh, Mel's gonna kill me. Turns out it was just a very light colored rock, but I would have seriously felt so bad. That would have been the way that it goes, though. Sir Dave, there you go. Ugly sticks are good rods. It's funny, I never realized this, and I guess you don't when you don't make the purchases, because, you know, like, maybe until you're, depending on how into fishing you are, maybe until you're 16 or so, you might get fishing rods as, like, birthday presents or Christmas presents or something. Like, I didn't purchase a fishing rod of my own till, I don't know, 5-6 years ago. The rods themselves are pretty cheap. The reels are not. That's where the price comes from. Grayson, thank you for the super chat again. I like that super sticker. I've never seen that one before. That would make it 2-0. Yeah, but you have all the other cool things. The rare gators in particular, I know you have a bunch of cool ones. I think that every time I go out, I'm like, man, Mel's got like 20 of these. I hear another. That's not even the one that I hear. There's one over there that is not pleased with our decision making. Hello? Well, perhaps we'll see it as we keep going. I want to know what the max score is for red deer. There is no true max. TruRACS in general don't have like an actual max score. Now, that's... Some people hear that and think, well, you know, there's never going to be a red deer that scores 600, so there must be a max somewhere. And technically, like, there's a score that you're never going to see anything above. But due to the randomness in true random antler figure configuration system, the random part of that is rather relevant because you can always get, like, you know, maybe a slightly longer tine or a slightly better spread. to a certain point, of course. But yeah, there's no known maximum for anything, because you never know. Just because we haven't seen a fallow deer that scored above 276 in the community doesn't mean you couldn't get a spread that's 0.1 bigger, and now we have 276.1. Like, there can't be a max because it's random. Eddie, thank you for the super chat and the super sticker. Appreciate you, man. Thank you for the support. Did I miss anything? A bunch of this. Bunch of lions. Average sized lions thus far. I don't know if that Cape Buffalo was the only one. Just 8, just a few. I cannot seem to find a diamond Rocky Mountain elk as much as I search. Any tips? So you could try to grind for one. Basically, the way that I would do it is set your time for, I would probably ignore the morning drink zone because it's like 4 a.m. to 5 a.m. Set your time for about 1700 and have tents set up at a lot of the lakes where you find them drinking, and just fast travel around. That was difficult to say. Shoot literally as many bolts as you can, rinse and repeat. I'm not sure when it comes to Diamond Rocky Mountain elk just how rare they are, because I feel like I've seen a fair few level 5s for as much as I've, spent the time hunting them. I would like to think you could get one doing that relatively quickly, but it's all, again, same answer, different situation. It's all random, so you never know. Kyla's becoming a PC master racer. Jacob Long, thank you for the super chat. Dream Harvest in Call of the Wild. I thank you for specifying Call of the Wild, because like 80% of the time I answer both because I never know. I never want to be like, hey, you've asked me a question, let me respond with a question, because then you'll feel compelled to super chat again and I feel terrible. Dream Harvest in Call of the Wild probably is a leucistic bighorns diamond Cape Buffalo. There's a lot of stuff that obviously would be really cool, but there's just something about leucistic Cape Buffalo that just look really, really cool. I think that would be it. Best wishes from Austria. You know, when I see the different places that people are from in the community, I feel like I don't see a lot of Austria. That's cool, man. Appreciate you stopping in today. How far should I go to hunt gators on the far left side of the map? I go to that outpost. I don't know what it's called. I barely even know how to describe it. There's like gates and stuff before you get to the outpost, like a bunch of logs as well. Gaming laptops 4 stops away. Nice. Top of the map, I don't go all the way up. There are gators further north than I go. I just stop there. From the hills of Kentucky. Just for fun, because one day I want to hunt elk there after seeing Steve Ranella do it. Do you ever get to hunt elk there? Just killed a 9 legendary mountain lion. Nice. I was looking at my screenshots because I was trying to find this lion one for the thumbnail. I have a good one of a puma like halfway attacking, and it made me want to hunt mountain lions. Any idea why my red deer probably won't come back to the zone after I spook them? They used to, now they don't. I have to restart time to see them again. So I'm not 100% sure how this all works now. There's a chance that, and it depends on what map you're hunting on, there's a chance that when they spook, they're just becoming nervous and just going and drinking somewhere else. You'll see some species do that. I think red deer will, in fact, drink nervous away from the original zone location. Lions, for example, almost never come back. What this lion is likely to do if we don't shoot him is just keep on trotting that direction, eventually probably find some brush or something, and just sit down, and even though there's no water there, it'll say he's drinking, which is a rather odd thing, but it does seem to be the way that it works. Red deer, I think, are probably doing that. If you're hunting them on Quattro, there's also a chance that you're just getting wolves that end up spooking them every time and messing with stuff. Yeah, the roe deer as well. That was the thing that I thought of. Up at the top right, they do it very consistently. Is who telling the truth about a diamond albino lion? If it's posted in the Discord, that's what I go off. And you know, if it's like the one guy that posted a picture of a diamond, it was a max score diamond albino lion, except it weighed less than a level 9. There were like 100 animals all right behind it that had obviously been hacked in. And I think it was shot from like 3 meters. Literally every indication that it was hacked, and I don't know how you can post that and not think, hey, I'm gonna get called out for hacks, but apparently it happens. What's up, Danny? What are we grinding for today? We're looking for a rare female lion, and ideally a diamond TruRACS Kudu. We'll get after Kudu in a bit. Probably, what, 20 minutes? The cast of the Lion King albino diamond lion? I like that name. I don't know who that is, Warplane. Should play with KD Gaming? KD? I know KG. I don't know who KD is. Does your 300 shoot like a Nerf gun? No penetration compared to a few months ago. Why is that? My bad for a long comment. That's not that long, man. No worries. Are you shooting Cape Buffalo by chance? I believe it's not the gun. I think it's Cape Buffalo have gotten a bit of a buff, made to be a little tougher. So my experience has been that if you shoot them like low-ish in the lungs, it works just fine. High in the lung, like shoulder height, maybe a little below the shoulder or above, just no penetration. It is odd. Is it possible for a level 2... come back. For a level 2 foul to be diamond? No. That would have to be a hack. I'm not saying your friend's hacking, by the way. He very well could have shot it on a modded server, which... That's probably the most frustrating thing about hacks and illegitimate play, is that it's so prevalent in multiplayer. And, you know... I'll get to that in 1 second, Sky. Thank you so much. Somebody thinking they're playing legitimately shoots something that is obviously hacked, and then gets called out for hacking, and they're like, no, I didn't hack. Like, this isn't fair. It's something that happens in multiplayer. It sucks. We got Eddie and Sky with the super chats. Thank you guys so much for the support. I never saw that super sticker either. There's a bunch of new ones today. Thank you so much, Sky. And Eddie got my first 4 diamonds in 1 week. Is that normal? I wouldn't say it's abnormal. It depends on how much you're playing. Like, when I was... What's a good example? I mean, when I was grinding for the Great One Red Deer, I had many weeks where I shot more than 4. In fact, I've had at least 2, maybe 3 streams with upwards of 6 diamonds. Just really stupid luck. Now, one of them really doesn't count. The reason I say that is because it was a Vurhonga stream right after Trophy Lodges came out. We were aware that Trophy Lodges were coming out, and fortunately back then they didn't do pop resets. So I had already picked out an albino springbuck, I think 2 diamond springbuck, and something else. I forget what. And then we also found on top of that like a diamond Cape Buffalo, a diamond scrub hair. It was just dumb luck on top of already knowing where some diamonds were. And then Parque Fernando, it used to be a diamond mine anyway. We got 7 in one stream. But yeah, like, it can happen. I think, long story short, it can happen. Was your Piebald Diamond Gray Fox a super rare? Yes. In the grand scheme of things, it's probably my rarest super rare. The reason I say that is, to this point, and I say this in stream all the time, and maybe people correct me and I don't see it, but I'm still not aware of anybody else having a super rare Gray Fox, which I find quite cool. Pretty unique about that one. Okay, I was a little worried that tree might steal my bullet, but we're good. 9.20 Goose is pretty high. The best I ever did was... What's the 90% thing? I'm missing something there. Watching this while practicing drumming. Nice. Why do I feel like we are having some weird framey struggles. Sometimes I think it's about time to upgrade this PC. I've only had it, almost 4 years. Technology flies. I think the other thing is too, like, I'm pretty hard on PCs compared to, you know, the average person. I seriously have no idea, like, how much wear or, like, diminishing performance should be expected. But between the amount of hours that go into it and, like, all the video rendering, it's definitely a lot on a PC. Anything good yet? Nothing special so far. How do you get so much money in the Hunter Classic? So it's twofold, really. One is that, you know, if the way that I hunt right now, and I'm assuming by money you mean GM, because EM you just buy or win through competitions. The way that I hunt right now is I basically, for, I don't know, 90% of my hunts, spawn, hunt a little bit, fast travel, and then stay at that spot. So I might use 2 camping supplies, which would cost whatever a fifth of 865 is. Call it 200, it's a little less than that. So if I can make more than 200 GM over the course of a 2-hour hunt, like, I'm making money, I'm making GM hunting in that fashion. It's just, I've really enjoyed tree stand hunting, and usually I'm doing something else on the side so it doesn't get boring when there's nothing happening. It's a pretty effective way, but if you're really trying to, you know, sit there and actively play, magpie and snow geese make really good money, but of course it costs quite a lot to put a setup there. Turkey hunting, blacktail, like Whiteheart Island in general, is a really good money map. What's up, Agent Charles? Pennsylvania's best elk caller. If I ever draw an elk tag, I'll hit you up. I need to, when's that? Real soon that opens up to put in for them. Hello. You're making weird noises, dude. She's like, I can't believe you didn't wake me up for the beginning of this stream. I've missed 10 minutes of yipping and barking and crying. Do you ever do any bear hunting in real life? I haven't so far. Lane, thank you for the super chat, by the way. Can you please do a video where you show your OBS settings? Yeah, you know, I don't remember if I ever did it. And it was back when I recorded with Bandicam. I think that was the thing that I did. I made a video of, like, how to record videos or something. Yeah, I can try to do one for OBS and settings. It's pretty simple, and it's a little bit PC specific as to, like, what settings you do. I can try elk anytime, just won't look like elk. Relatable. Little stick figure with... Dude, I used to spend so much time as a kid. I was sure I was going to be an artist. I would just draw so many deer. And always... It's not like the body was good. What are you doing? But, you know, like, you'd be able to tell it was a deer body. And then, because I've always been into, like, you know, hunting for big males and stuff, it would just have, you know, Call the Wild diamond red deer antlers on a whitetail. It was never good. You cannot harvest fish in Call the Wild. You cannot. When you say you're the only one with a super rare gray fox, everyone knows you're full of it. Quit acting like the other YouTubers who play this game and lie about having the best trophy. I'm not lying about having the best trophy. I just find it to be the most unique one that I have. I mean, LC literally shot an albino great one whitetail. I'm not trying to pretend that it's better than that. You have a girlfriend. That is also more rare than my super rare. So... Don't get it twisted.
Wow.
What kind of dog do you have? A Velociraptor? She is a Blue Heeler Border Collie mix, who is just a little lunatic. This is my first time making one of your streams. You recently got me back into the game, and I just got my first piebald last night. Nice. I think Shadow's reading these harvest fish comments.
She's like, fish? Where?
There's no fish.
Loves fish.
There's no fish. Velociraptors are actually the size of a turkey. Speaking of that, the season's been out for 6 days now here in PA. I was walking around today. There was a hen in the yard. It did not care. Like, I was listening to a YouTube video, making plenty of noise, walking all around. It was just chilling. It's like every year they're like, oh, thank goodness that's over. Time to walk right past everybody again. Have you seen the new Top Gun? I have not yet. What's your favorite animal to hunt? I quite enjoy gray wolves over on Yukon. Like if you get a pack of 10, right? Or maybe even, 2 packs of 6 from either side. It's really fun to try to fend them off. I think you had to apply for an elk tag by the end of April. I definitely could have done it incorrectly, but every time that I've tried to do it, it says to like that the application period opens around the same time that the new licenses go on sale. Plural difficult. When are you gonna end the stream? An hour and a half. Opinion on the new map coming out? I think it's going to be probably a top 3 map when it's all said and done. Maybe not, like, if you were to pull all Call of the Wild players, you might not get a lot of people that put it in their top 3, but I think it's going to be one of the most replayed maps, far into the future, because the amount of waterfowl, and the fact that it will be, like, the waterfowl map, I just think that a lot of people are going to enjoy that, and a lot of people are going to come back time and time again to hunt the ducks and geese and everything that map has to offer, really. Alright, brain shot no worky, but got that in there. Oh, I just remember for the montage, there was a crowned wildebeest that I shot here, and I forgot to put it in there. Dang it. Oh well. Is a 279 kg low weight for a 23.6 diamond black? That's about right. I just got a picture of my cell cam of a bear. Oh, I meant to go back to that. We had one, it wasn't on a cell cam, it was the normal trail cam, but we had one come through, was it when you were in Georgia, right? So end of April? And that makes me kind of think that maybe I'll get a bear tag this year just in case. I think it's probably not likely, like I've never seen a bear while hunting. I've never been actively hunting bear, but there is a portion of archery season that like crosses over the bear archery season as well. I'm just thinking maybe I'll get it. I hear bear are good. Like, why not? Fill the freezer. Is that a Tom Cruise thing? Because at first I thought you were taking a shot at me, bottom line. I was like, wow. It's kind of harsh, man. Harley, thank you for the super chat. Johnny tags this year? If so, which ones? So, as of now, such results are undecided. What a little vocal lunatic. So we put in for pronghorn in Wyoming. Those we should find out in about 10 days. If we drew and for which unit. And then as far as deer go, as a resident of PA, you can just purchase a buck tag. Like, that's a guarantee. Does are always like a lottery, but it's a lottery of like, say, 35,000 tags, and maybe like 20,000 people will apply. So you can get quite a few tags. They actually had significantly changed it recently. Did that hit? Might have. It did. Got him good. What the heck? I never hit open sight shots. But anyway, yeah. The only not PA thing as of now that I'm looking at is pronghorn in Wyoming, which we put in for units that had we done it last year would have had 100% odds. You obviously can't know what the odds are going into the year. The amount of tags are down, so like it's definitely not a guarantee, but from my perspective, I think we should get it. Why is that called light brown? I guess it is kind of light brown. I don't know. Light seems weird for one of the darkest variations. My head is Springbuck's shoulder height. I'm at least 5'9" with boots on, maybe. 5'9's pushing it. 5'9 on a good day, as I say. If I really got that thick posture. Kyla's not impressed. What are your thoughts on ultimate hunting? I think that my opinion's still kind of up in the air. Like, I'm afraid of, like, overhyping it mentally. With Hunting Sim 2, when that came out, and I was fortunate enough to get early access to it, I was just super hyped. Like, I just thought that it was going to be more than it was. And, that caused me to not enjoy it as much as I otherwise would have. So I'm really making an effort with Ultimate Hunting to just reserve judgment, not get my hopes up, and hopefully, ideally, it just ends up being good and exceeds, you know, my expectations, which I'm trying to set at basement level. Fishing Masters, thank you for the super chat. I like your vids. Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
Wouldn't you agree that Tay is the best, like, DLC for a starter map because there's no class 9 levels? Don't you think that'd be easier to start out and then work your way up money-wise and then get a class 9 gun?
Yeah, you can buy your way into a class 9 gun with Weapon Pack 2, but the 9.3 is not exactly top tier. You can also get it pretty early on with the 7mm, but if you're talking like level 1, I'd probably choose Tay. So I think that's a dark brown lion, I'm not sure. It's a male, which is really unfortunate, but it looks odd to me. Where'd you go, sir? Yeah, I think so. Technically, I want to say that is a rare. Not that one. This one. Yes. So, cool, but not at the same time. I don't know, let's just kind of get the ones that we can take care of now. We'll go get him in a minute. If he was the level 7, that guy there, who oddly enough also almost looks dark brown. I think it's the sun. Just gotta be careful with that shot, just in case. I'm pretty confident that's a comment of some kind. By the way, being careful with that shot didn't prevent me from not making a lung shot. Oh, good. Got the female just fine. So what we'll do then is climb to the top of this little hill, and we'll try to get him. Funny enough, Mel, I think my last dark brown lion was... forget if it was the... I want to say it was the 12-hour stream last March with Kyla. It was a level 4 as well, I think in multiplayer. Yeah, because I was doing like Diamond or Bust, and I did multiplayer so that I couldn't just like, you know, have a reserve Diamond fallow deer on my map and just go to that, because that wouldn't be fair. And yeah, I had no sights with the 300, so I made like the worst shot ever, because it was running away and I was tired of it, and it was small. So hopefully that doesn't happen here. We will try. Got a good, vast expanse here to find him from. It's funny though, like, I mean, I do shoot the males as well on this grind, because, you know, who knows, maybe I can find an albino or something. But I'm looking for females, and I've had a lot of rare males. Tips on starting a YouTube channel in Call of the Wild.
I would like to know as well.
Well, there's a lot of things that go into that, because it very much depends on, like, personality and stuff as to, like, what you're gonna do. The biggest thing I would say is to make content on things that you would enjoy. And from a viewer perspective, things that you would enjoy watching. So when I got into making the Hunter Classic videos back in 2015, that would have been, my goodness. Nobody was doing, like, daily kind of, like, Let's Play stuff. And I couldn't keep up with daily because I was in school and all that, but I would just do Let's Play style content. You know, the vast majority of the Hunter content back then was, you know, hey look, a new weapon came out in Classic, let's go for a hunt with it. Hey look, there's a new map, let's go hunt here. It was not like ever consistent, you know, day after day come back and play Classic. So I was just doing Let's Play stuff, like, hey, let's go hunt, see if we can find anything cool. And that's more or less what I've kept up doing in Call of the Wild and in Classic still. So for one, like, if there's something that you would want to watch, and especially if there's something you'd want to watch that no one else is doing, that's a big thing. And tutorials always. Tutorials in any game, in any genre at all, like even if you're not a gaming YouTuber, let's say you're a real-life hunting YouTuber, any kind of how-to video is always going to do well, because there's always somebody out there that's trying to figure out how to do, you know, something that you probably already know how to do if you have experience with that particular thing. I'm glad that he was apparently coming back, because earlier I said lions don't do that, so that made me look good. Anyway.
I know what you're talking about.
So many comments, I hope you don't pass up mine. I try to catch as many as I can, but especially like in these moments when there's a rare, I end up focusing a little more on the screen, maybe a little less on the chat momentarily. This should be a long ride. Cool. Don't do things just for clicks. Yeah, it's tempting, right? And in the short term, it's probably gonna work. You might be able to get views from doing things that are maybe a little clickbaity or, you know, whatever you want to call it. But in the long term, what you're doing is harming like a reputation. So I don't want to get into specifics. I don't think this is specifics. So a big thing.
Call them out.
And I'm not calling anybody out. A big thing with the Call of the Wild community was with the Great Ones. When Great Ones initially came out, like, other than one instance which is fairly famous, nobody really clickbaited Great Ones that bad, which is kind of surprising if you think about it. But now, like, there's so many Great Ones in thumbnails in, you know, streams and videos that don't include Great Ones, that they're diluted. And what I mean by that is, like, alright, I'm a Call of the Wild viewer. I just got into Call of the Wild. Hey, look, I just learned what Great Ones were yesterday. There's one in this thumbnail. Watch the video, no Great One. Alright, look, another one. Watch that one, no Great One. By the time you do that like 3 times, no longer does a Great One in the thumbnail appeal to you or make you click it immediately, right? And that's what I'm getting at from like a individual YouTuber stance, is that once you've earned a reputation for maybe being clickbaity or for doing, or, like, for misrepresenting what's in your video, you're just gonna lose viewers at the end of the day. And that's something you don't want to do starting out or when you get big. Now, it's tough. It really is to sit here and say, you know, that you're gonna lose viewers and you can't clickbait your way to success, because people do it. I don't know. The Call of the Wild community is very niche and very like tight-knit, so like everybody knows everybody type of thing, versus, I won't call people out in other communities either, even though I don't know them and will never encounter them. The Fortnite community had some terrible clickbait stuff. And the people still grow, but they are, some of them anyway, kind of starting to fall out of favor because they continue to clickbait. And I won't get into a 90-minute ethics of hunting type conversation like we did on Twitch a couple weeks ago, but the gist of it is, don't do things that are attempting to, you know, get you short-term gain, right? YouTube, I remember Zaggy used to tell me this all the time. YouTube is a marathon, not a sprint. Like, reputation is important. Quality is important. You don't want to be the guy that, you know, clickbaits everything, gets a bunch of views on a couple videos, and then falls out of favor. Because those reputations, first impressions, are really, really hard to repair if they're not good. Fortnite's very fake. Yeah, and, you know, I know nothing about it. I've never played it. I just know from, what's the guy's name? Sunny V2, I think. Some of you guys may be familiar with him. He does, like, 20-minute, 30-minute documentary-style content on, you know, YouTubers and, like, even celebrities, I think, as well. Like, the downfall of or the rise of, you know, both positive and negative. But through his content, I've seen some of the Fortnite stuff, and it's terrible, like how bad the clickbait can be. Anyway, How to find more animals. The best advice I can give for finding more animals is to hunt around water. What's really interesting, and I can show you this very quickly, is let's pick a lake. Let's go, I don't know, what's one that I go to a lot? Maybe up here? Yeah, this one shows it pretty well. So, naturally, because we're near water, there are drink zones in this lake. But the interesting thing is, pretty near this lake are rest zones and feed zones, and you'll see that with a lot of lakes. Rest zones and feed zones near the water. The reason that's relevant is because even if you're not hunting the right time, the drink zone, you might still find animals there feeding or resting, and that's kind of the key to finding a lot of stuff. The other side of that is, maybe you are hunting the right time. Maybe you are hunting, I don't know, lion drink time, since we're hunting lions right now, 12 to 1500, which we're past that since we're running around claiming stuff. The lions, you can expect to see them. They're drinking, they're going to be near water. But you might see other stuff. You might see some kudu resting. You might see some gunsbuck feeding in the distance. Oftentimes they're near water. Chilling and killing, how to be chill and get kills. I like it. Different, like, I don't know, Sean, everybody's different about the way they approach stuff like that. Some people will be more I don't know, more compelled to kind of build up their abilities and stuff. It's just everybody's different in the way they approach it. What? I don't think you did anything, Logan. I think Kyla's learning how to mod on PC and misclicked. The thing about, because if you mod on a phone, it's really easy to tap a name and deal with it that way. If you're modding on PC and you go to click, it's easy for a name to get away from you and the chat flies by. It is warm in this room. I blame Kyla.
Why?
Because it's hot in here. What do you mean?
You're so gross. Get out of here.
What's your most viewed video? We were just looking at that earlier. It is still my starting over at level 1 beginner series video. And it's a tough situation, because on one hand, a lot of that information is still accurate, but on the other hand, there's some stuff that definitely is a little outdated. Wow. I don't know if it's a sunset thing, but something about making it a little later really hurt my frames. Anyway, yeah, that remains my most viewed video. Then the how many shots to kill a Cape Buffalo with the 22, which, funny side note about that. Probably still once every 6 months or so, I get a comment that's like, oh, thank God, I thought this was real. Which I guess, shout out to Call of the Wild for their graphics, because it's just a Cape Buffalo in the thumbnail, but who is peppering Cape Buffalo with a 22 and filming that in real life? That's dangerous. Anyway, yeah, that and the great one's number 3. Mr. Flinter, what's going on? This morning I randomly found my first hack server. I was so excited about the first diamond, then I found 5 more. Yeah, it is a bummer, man. I've been, normally if I encounter a hacker, I definitely don't put anything from hacked servers in a video, because the last thing I want, because I'm sure there's at least one person out there that's if I can just hack animals in a YouTuber's video and get my name out there, you know what I mean? So I'm not gonna call anybody out for hacking because I don't want them to get the attention. It's the same concept as a lot of things in real life. Somebody doing bad things shouldn't get attention for it, because a lot of times they're attention seeking. So anyway, I never put that stuff in videos, but I've been telling the story recently. I was hunting Silver Ridge Peaks. I've been there for 3 hours, and I joined this next server. And there's a level 5 pronghorn. I'm like, finally, I got something good for this video, all hyped, shot it, made the shot go up there. I didn't even claim it. I looked up to my left, and there were 5 more level 5 pronghorn in the next herd. Just deflating. I don't think I ever did kill anything for that video. I just kind of left the server all sad. What do you want the next great one to be? I think a mule deer great one could be really cool, so that's what I'm kind of hoping for, but I don't think it's going to be that, especially with the new map having nothing to do with mule deer. I would like to think it's maybe a new map thing. TK did say something. To me, it felt odd but maybe it was just him trying to make sure there was mystery to it. He said, like, there is a new great one with this map, and then he said, like, but we're not going to tell you where it is or what it is. The where it is part, to me, I was just like, does that mean it's not on this map, or are you just saying that? So I don't know. Maybe it has nothing to do with Finland, and maybe it could be mule deer. How long does a video usually take you to make? It really does depend. I would say the most common, like, recording time is about 2.5 hours, then about an hour and a half editing and stuff, maybe 30 minutes of SEO and all that. So 4.5 hours for like a normal video. My classic video that I did today, I recorded for close to 4 hours. I haven't edited or anything yet. That one will be closer to 6 by the time I'm done. How'd you manage to get the Rayo? I'm still trying to kill the wolf with a bow. Can't get them. You know what I did for that one, if I'm not mistaken? I think I switched it to nighttime. And I just went into one of their drink zones and crawled in real close. I remember doing it. You know when Finland is coming out? There's no official release date yet. I would like to think, you know, we're maybe within a month. It felt weird because, like, it almost felt like it wasn't official information, but I think EW said on one of their streams that they're waiting on, like, console certification, so it could be very soon. A great one Cape would be insane. Cape Buffalo kind of fall into that same category as, well, where I thought Red Deer would be, and obviously they figured out a way to make a great one Red Deer. Other examples are, you know, maybe Blacktail or Moose is actually a good one, where the diamonds are about as big as I can imagine their antlers getting, and I don't know what they do. And Cape Buffalo diamonds, like the Bighorns diamonds, they're already huge. So I don't know exactly what they, you know, what they would do to make one, but surely, like, one day, was that like the most whistly S I've ever done? That was terrible. Anyway, surely, there's going to be a great one Cape Buffalo one day. It's just one of the most iconic species in the game. Schultz, thank you for the super chat. Cheers for the good videos from Connecticut. Well, thank you, man. Appreciate that. Connecticut's not that far away. One day I'll go, I hope. Great one bison, like 2,000 kilograms and built like a nuclear bunker. You know, for those type of animals, I wouldn't be upset if they went like the Red Dead Redemption route with the legendaries, and like you had to hit it, say, you know, 4 times, 6 times to bring it down before it kills you. I think that could be kind of fun. Then again, it kind of removes the incentive to make good shots and stuff. Just started watching. Did I miss anything? We actually did shoot a rare lion, but it was unfortunately a male. Came out here looking for rare female lions, and we got a dark brown male instead. A level 4 too, so it wasn't even big.
Some people can't even get a male
Hmm?
rare. I said some people can't even get a male rare.
Like you?
Like me. So just be like, ugh, I got this instead of
Ugh.
what I'm going for.
Disgusting.
Screw that.
Get out of my face, you small male. Said that to the pig too. Why is Shadow being so quiet lately? You know, I'm not sure if she's kind of like, I don't know, like maybe a little bit of age to where she's not as crazy anymore. I'm not
I
as,
got her outside earlier.
yeah, like we definitely tried to make sure we got our energy out, but like when I'm recording, it's not as consistent anymore that it's like an hour and a half and she's awake and barking. Like today it was almost 4 hours of recording before she did anything. I think she's just, you know, getting a little more used to, this is kind of what I do, talking into a microphone for X amount of hours per day. I don't know exactly why, but I'm glad. It's hopefully, I guess, because I was talking earlier, Kyla's going to Georgia for a little while here at the end of the week, so I'm going to have to deal with a dog all on my own. And what you guys don't see during the streams and stuff is often Kyla either goes and gets something for Shadow to entertain her, like even if it's a lick pad with frozen peanut butter on it to distract her for 20 minutes. So usually what I have to do, from experience last time, is just put her in her kennel for maybe half the stream, and then usually she's just kind of chill for the rest of it. My guess is I'll have to do that, but, you know, ideally she gets to chill up here and lay here. You don't want your dog to have to be in the kennel all the time, so I'm hoping she keeps on chilling out and just like that. I still think she's going to have to be in the kennel for the next week or so once Kyla leaves, but we'll see. Does your voice ever get tired talking for hours on end? Streaming does strain my voice a bit. 2 hours, do you build up like resistance to talking? I don't know. 2 hours generally I'm okay now. When I got started, and it took years to get to the point where I could talk for 2 hours and not strain it. If you go back and listen to streams 2 years ago, by the end, I don't even think I can do an impression of it. My voice is just a little wispier, a little quieter, strained, you know? I don't really have that issue with 2 hours anymore, but when I do the 24-hour streams, the 12 hours, that still happens. I didn't even see in your Pixel. You coming over when Kyla leaves? Is that what that was? Armin, thank you for the super chat. What gun kills plain bison? The 300, 7mm, 338, 9.3, 454. Any of those are good options, or the 470. Talk less. Okay. I like that there's crickets on Vurhonga that really sells it. Anyway, is a Grey Puma rare? It is not. Doing a mission on Yukon, having trouble harvesting a bison with 100% quick kill and harvest check. So you could just... Oh, harvest check won't work to shoot in the brain. I was going to say that. Frontal heart shots on them aren't that bad with like 338 or 300. If you have one of those. I've even done it with the 10 gauge slugs. Yeah, I think that's what you're going to have to go for. That or maybe like 470, whatever the high expansion rounds are. Not the... Where are they? Did I unequip them? Oh, not the Full Metal Jacket. The other ones with the high expansion stat. If you get close and fire 2 quick lung shots in, that might work. Such a pretty game. I'm grateful the devs released so much content for it. Yeah, at the end of the day, like, you know, Call of Wild gets a lot of flack for its bugs and stuff, but I maintain it's still the best hunting game out there on the market currently. Like, from a pure hunting perspective, I say Classic's better, but Call of the Wild's the one that's getting like the consistent new maps, new content, new updates. In terms of like the most widely available hunting game, obviously Classic only being PC, Call of the Wild being PC, PlayStation, Xbox. It's still as good as it gets. Like, there's no better option. When is that supposed to... When's that coming out? 10th? Oh, you're not even going to be here. Oh. Oh, I was going to take... That's unfortunate. Bye. I'll just play the game. I was going to say about that, by the way. If anybody... What's that game called?
Jurassic World Alive. If anyone wants to join our Schuster Alliance...
I'll have to post in the Discord, because, like, apparently Schuster's against their community guidelines has got zeros in it. But anyway, it's literally Pokemon Go with dinosaurs, and Kyla got me addicted to it, and I told her that was going to happen. But it happened. But yeah, if anybody plays that and wants to join our alliance, message me in Discord. I think it's Schuster 12 and the O's or zeros. It might not be that difficult. Where did that go? How come Classic never gets updates anymore? It does, actually. Classic gets consistent updates. It's just not big content updates. Classic's 13 years old. And their model for making money isn't new maps. Like, new maps are free when they release them. So it's hard for them to put out something like a new map and make any money. Now, normally, the way that they would do it back in the day is release the new map, And then along with it comes the new collars, some new camo, some new equipment. That's where they would make their money through those items. It's probably not feasible for them to make a lot of money with a new map now, so they kind of do the, a new gun, a new species here and there. Schuster Lions? Oh, Alliance? I got you. Pokemon Go for dinosaurs? Yeah, but like instead of throwing Pokeballs, you like shoot darts to collect DNA. I don't know, it's a weird concept, but I enjoy the battling side of it. It's kind of... On one hand, I like Pokemon better. I haven't played Pokemon in forever, by the way, but... Like, I just enjoy the battle sequences. Like, in Pokemon, they at least tell you what the moves are gonna do. In this game, it's like a little less obvious, but I like some of the abilities, like whatever hybrid thingy I have. I just use that all the time, and it's fun. Which part of PA are you from, if you don't mind me asking? I am in West Central PA, or from West Central PA. Both, honestly. Did I miss anything? A dark brown level 4 male lion. Had it been a female, we would have completed that grind. Jurassic World Alive was fun, but got really rough the further up the arena ranks you got. So I was thinking earlier when I was walking around looking for whatever the heck I was after, that I was going to mention it on stream just because we made it called Schuster 12 in case anybody does play and wants to join. And the other thing I was going to say was probably be aware that at some point, like this, it's not going to be a game that I play forever, and I assume it's going to be that. I'll get to a point where everybody is like way better than me at battling and I'll just get tired of it. Nice, Active. Kyla actually downloaded that too, but we're still far enough from civilization that there's nothing good.
Which is so interesting, because on Jurassic World Alive, like, there's so much stuff happening near us.
I'm convinced...
There's nothing.
I'm convinced that Jurassic World Alive is... They spawn things based on locations of players, not just based on, like, mass population areas. Is there going to be more IRL hunting videos? Yes. Starting next month, actually, they should start to drop on my channel. As per usual, they'll be on the Meat Hunters channel first, 4 days before they drop on my channel. But, I think about mid-July, we should start to have some of them. The way that I think it's going to work, because the way that it's sequenced to go on WoW TV first, TK has an episode, so obviously that won't be uploaded to my channel. They'll be on the Meat Hunters channel, though. And then I have an episode, I almost want to say it's July 4th. It comes out on WoW TV. And then it would come out on Meat Hunters, something like July 8th or 9th, and then on my channel, 12th, 13th. What's up, Ray Rex? We did get a dark brown male lion, but it was a level 4, just a silver. Kyle, thank you for the super chat. Are piebald mountain lions a thing? They are not. I wish they were. It'd be neat, but I don't think they're a thing in real life. No worries, Tyler. We're not trying to, recruit people from other alliances. Just if anybody else out there doing what we're doing, just like, hey, we made our own alliance of 2 people.
Yeah, well, I mean, we kind of need people anyway, because just us two trying to do the weeklies, it's so tedious. You know what I mean?
It's clearly made for alliances to be more filled. We could have just joined another one too, I guess, but who knows? We have a community here for things. Have you ever shot any gun that you felt had too much kick? So far I'm up to a 460 Weatherby Magnum and I haven't reached that point. I'm a small lad. I can't even remember. It's a Mossberg 5 something. It's a pump shotgun. 3.5 inch turkey load is about all I can stand. And even my new pump, it's a TriStar something. Don't know what that Model 1 is either. But 3 inch turkey load, I'm good. Shoot that like 3 or 4 times. I don't want anything to do with that for the rest of the night. My shoulder's gonna be hurting. What if the next great one's a Melanistic Lion? I'd grind for it. I've been grinding for him anyway. Will Kyla ever make content? Attempted. Working on it, one might say. Verbal warning, thank you for the super chat. Can I get a hey? Is that the kind of hey you wanted? I really hope it is, otherwise I am so sorry.
Woke that dog up
With my hay?
with your creepy hay.
Good to know. Ow. Bull Extreme, thank you for the super chat. Is the Solican from Weapon Pack 2 any good? It is still the best Class 3 weapon in the game. That said, the 243 holds its own for Class 3 animals, so you don't, like, need it. But if you're hunting black buck, spring buck, axis deer, bobcats, anything like that, lynx, really, really good. Are they going to fix the fur problems on Vurhonga? I certainly hope so. It's, you know, in the case of the dark brown lion earlier, it sucks to kill something cool, and then you get to the harvest screen and it looks like it's balding. Sometimes I wonder, David, like if shooting something like the shotgun hurts my... I don't think I flinch when I'm firing like a rifle, but I wonder if continuously firing something that... I definitely don't enjoy the kick of that shotgun. Like, I wonder if I'm more likely to flinch over time. No, I didn't see that, Danny. That's cool. Quick tips on the best places to find Sika deer on Te Aurora. Honestly, it's pretty much just the west side of the map. There's that one lake. It's the lake that everybody hunts red deer at. I don't know the name of it. Yeah, west middle, kinda. And then, like, the whole swampy river system over there has got a bunch. I'm from Kentucky and I shoot deer with a 338. That's a pretty big round. I'm sure that's getting them. Have you ever caught a pike? If so, what is your PB? I have not. I don't even remember, because I was pretty young. I don't know what the situation was, but in some capacity, like, my family knew, like, another family that had, like, some sort of vacation house at Deep Creek, Maryland. Which is funny because it's a lake. I don't know why it's called that. But for whatever reason, like, I don't know if it wasn't booked, or, like, maybe they weren't, maybe it was, like, earlier in the spring or summer than they usually start, like, renting it out. Anyway, like, it wasn't an expensive trip and we got to go. My brother caught a pike there, but I did not. It wasn't a big pike, maybe a 2 or 3 pounder. I have never heard of either of those things, Hannah. What? I can imagine what a dove would be. I don't know what the first half is. What's the second thing? Do you think we need a new big game gun? A lot of recent ones are for smaller game. If so, any ideal calibers? I'm really not good with, like, a lot of caliber stuff. Like, a lot of people ask me what gun I want to see next in the game, and I don't have a specific caliber so much as, like, the function that I'd want it to have. Like, I don't care what caliber they add, but I want something that could be 0 to 400 meters. I think that would be cool. But yeah, another class 7 to 9 or even a class 8 to 9 weapon would be cool. Armor, thank you for the super chat again. Is the M1 Grand good? Yeah, I would say it's probably still the second best grinding weapon. The 308 AR-10 is going to be better, but the M1's right there behind it. If a creek runs into a bottom boy, I'll grant you that. I don't know if one does. Hey, cool, Tyler. The long boy now 0 to 400 meters. Hey, I hit that, or I hard shot and dropped, in fact, that bison at like 161 with the longbow right when it came out. Sounds good, glow stick. Stream has started 69 minutes ago. Nice. What do you think is the best weapon pack? perhaps recency bias, but probably the newest one, the Modern Weapons Pack. The 308 is just so darn good. For any, red deer, whitetail, any of those grinds, it's the best option there is. The M1 is better. The only reason I say the 308's better is it's got so little recoil that you can just get back on target. And a lot of times I think the wasted time in target acquisition with the M1 might cost you one good shot versus the 308, getting that one extra shot in. They're very, very similar though. I do like with the M1, it's got that ping when you fire your 5th shot. It's really nice to know, like, hey, gotta reload. How long have you been hunting? Like, today? Or in real life? In real life, I think I shot a groundhog when I was 5. I did, because that's fall. I shot a squirrel when I was 6, which is kind of my first game animal. Groundhogs aren't really a game animal, they're like a pest situation, but I mean, we were hunting to get them, so whatever you want to consider that. Close to 20 years if you count those things. For deer, it would be 15. Where is lion? From 12 to 1500, basically any lake on the map you can find them drinking. Smooth Perp, thank you for the super chat. Do you think they should add a dog for birds, like a retriever or something? Yeah, I'm surprised that doesn't seem to be anything with Finland, but maybe the waterfowl rework was too big an undertaking. Now, the way that waterfowl work, or all animals work this way, but it mostly applies to waterfowl. When you shoot an animal in the water, they float to where you were standing. So in theory, if you're in a blind hunting waterfowl, you don't need a retriever, but over land and stuff, a retriever makes a big difference. Skis, for instance, you really want a retriever, so I don't know, I hope they add one. Hard to say, I don't think that's in the plans. If I remember, somebody asked that not too long ago and that was their answer, but who knows, maybe they changed their mind. This is quite the pile up here. Cool. What are the ranges you recommend walking and crouching again? So, where were you at? Generally, my rule of thumb is you can run till you're about 150 meters from animals, walk till you're about 120, crouch till 80, and if you're going to continue to stock in, you're going to want to crawl from there. 5 new people in the Lions. Holy, holy, holy. Make somebody who knows what they're doing the leader. I think I created it.
Yeah.
That's not good. Can you choose a random map? Because I don't know where to hunt. Medved. Always the answer if you ask in the stream, just so you know. What's the funnest diamond to go for? That's a good question. Wolves are fun for me. Like, I don't know if you enjoy the whole getting attacked situation. But the terrain on Yukon, especially the variance in the weather, sometimes you get the snow, sometimes you don't get the snow. I think that can be really, really cool. Getting to experience all that. Anything on Yukon's quite fun. If you want something that you're likely to get quickly, like if that's kind of more along the lines of what you're thinking for fun, ibex are good. I killed my first doe when I was 6. Nice. We weren't allowed to deer hunt. I was 10. I shot my first buck on my second hunt ever, which was pretty good luck. My brother would have been 8 that year, and he was allowed to go. But he's always been bigger than me. Like, we're about the same height, but back then he was definitely taller than me too. My God, back then he probably had 50 pounds on me, and I probably didn't even weigh, when I was 10, my God, I probably weighed like 70 pounds. I don't know, I was tiny. I remember for football, when I was like 12, I think I weighed 84. And they jacked my weight up a little bit for like the official listing to make it seem like I was slightly heftier. Weighed me with lead in my boots or something, I don't know. Thoughts on Way the Hunter? I'm excited. Mel's been, if you are looking for news about Way the Hunter, check out Mel's Gaming, her YouTube channel here. She's been keeping up with the news on that particular game. Anytime they're, releasing information on that. I definitely am excited to see more, but the trailer and stuff, I think they have a lot of stuff kind of moving in the right direction. I still weigh 70 pounds, yes. Any tips on getting Mr. Black? It's been so long since I've done that mission, I didn't even shoot him, actually. So I'm really not the right person to ask. So when you get to the end of that mission, you get the option to shoot him or let him go. And I don't know, like, if I had been playing... When I've been playing Red Dead back then, I don't know if I was playing some kind of game where, like, your decisions in missions have a major impact on stuff, but I thought maybe I'll let him go. Maybe that'll do something for me. It does nothing good. You just lose him. So I don't have great tips for that, unfortunately, but I don't know. You can, like, it sort of tells you where to go, I think. You can go to that area time and time again, like if you reset. Favorite map to play on? I quite enjoy Lean Lakes. How many hours do you have in Call of the Wild? That is a good question. 5,379. Just a couple. My Mr. Black turned out to be a troll? For all I know, like... I don't think I knew what diamonds were when I shot mine, so I wouldn't have known any better. I don't think we got that. But yeah... A lot of people's did. I never knew that. But after I learned what diamonds were and that there were mission diamonds and all that, a lot of people would say they're Mr. Black mission animal troll. Any tips for a newbie? Yeah, hunt around water. If you're looking for general tips, I've got a whole beginner series. That can maybe help you out with some starting out things. But it's a learning experience, like any new game. Missions tend to be a pretty decent source of information, but I don't think they do the best job of kind of letting you understand how animals work in the game. Shoutouts. Holy, holy, holy. Have you ever cheated on Call of the Wild like you used WeMod or WeMad? No, and I talk about this all the time. To go back to the hours thing, like the 5,379 hours, frankly, I just wouldn't be able to keep it up. Like, I would just... I don't know how you could keep on going back, like, if you just could cheat the fun stuff in, you know what I mean? Like, for me, the fun part of a grind for a diamond or a rare or whatever... It isn't like the quote-unquote pulling the trigger. You're not actually, click a button, but it's the pursuit of it. It's the time put in. It's the struggles of getting there. Now, for the 200 Whitetail and Classic, like, that took me 11 years. That got old eventually. But, yeah, I don't know, like, for me... I think if I were to do anything like that, even once, I'd ruin the experience and never be able to find the same enjoyment out of the game again. I could be wrong, but I don't want to find out. The mods are calling themselves trash. It's self-deprecation day. I just saw a rabbit run from me. I shot 4 bullets randomly in a big bush of trees and killed it. Nice. Blind kills in this game are some of the funnest ones. Just don't do it in real life. Scarecrow also tries to get out to everybody that mods and anything cheating-wise should never be used because everything will always get questioned when people actually work hard. Yeah, and like that's not only on an individual level, that's on a community-wide level. It sucks to see, it really does. Like, somebody shoots a great one legitimately, right? Maybe they've spent the last 3 months grinding red deer every day, and they post their great one, And immediately, the first thing in chat isn't like, hey, congrats. It's post a picture of the codex. And I know for like those that are just, you know, posting their big accomplishment, it sucks. But on the other side of that,
There's no trust.
the people that care about legitimate play and all that, like, I understand why it's their first instinct to ask for proof that it's legit, or the best proof that you can provide that it's legit. It's hard to 100% prove anything. Once you let a couple of hacked ones slide through the cracks, to go back to whatever I was talking, oh, the Great One thumbnail thing, you're diluting the legitimate ones. They're not, you know, if 12 hacked ones get posted every day, and then 2 legit ones do, excuse me, and the hacked ones aren't called out, then it's like, oh, look, another great one. I saw 12 of these earlier. Versus when they are just the legit ones, there's maybe 1 or 2 a day. It's like, oh, cool, look, somebody got a great one today. Do you do any 3D archery? You know, I should. I never got into that much. There's a thing, I don't know what it's called, Techno Hunt, I think. It's essentially like a big board thing that has a projector and a sensor, and it projects like videos of animals, you know, a buck feeding, and it gets to like weird ones like birds, and you shoot that from 20 yards, and the thing senses where you hit. I've done that a couple of times. That's a lot of fun, but I've never done the 3D shoots. Someone asked for a codex pick of a minimum score and weight Gemsbuck. I kind of get it though. Like, there are hacks that do that. I found them. I shot 100%. I was on Mississippi. I don't know what I was hunting for. I saw a level 1 female gray fox. And the score estimate was 0, and the weight estimate was 0. And I believe it was early in the morning, so it didn't occur to me that that's not possible. I was like, oh yeah, Hall of Shame gray fox, let's go. So I run over there, I shoot it. It's 0 kg, and I was like, oh, that's the weirdest hack I've ever seen. They just hacked in a 0 kg, 0 score gray fox. Like, that could be an actual hack. Minimum score and minimum weight. What level am I in Jurassic World Alive? Like 8? I'm small. But what's JWS? Is that what you're asking about? I know you joined in the thing. Jurassic World Saliva. Then you get that one guy who's like, great one, number 15. Yeah, you know. There's more of those, like, whatever you want to call them, like the people who just grind for great ones. I see it on Twitch all the time. Like, the last couple of times I've raided somebody on Fridays, it's somebody that's got like 13 great ones, like grinding for number 14, and I'm, you know, more power to you if you're doing that, but I don't get it. I can't dedicate myself to the same grind over and over. How dare you, Danny? Banned. Finally got my Diamond Dark Brown 504.9 trophy. Gator, I assume, right? Must be. Have you ever seen Tim Wells' Lockmaster? He shoots ducks out of the air with bows? I don't know if I've ever seen that. Like, I've seen some of his stuff. I can't do the narration thing. It just... I can't watch it. Like... I don't know. The whole, like... I've spotted my... What does he call it? Quarry? He always calls it something weird. 3 more steps, and I'll have a shot. It's just weird, whispering, overdone dramaticism. I don't know. Very well might do a 7th Great One Whitetail grind at some stage. Yeah, but it's not all you do. Like, there's a difference to me. Like, if you want to go back and grind for another Great One, like, do that. But I don't know how, like, it blows my mind to go from, look, I got a great one, to, alright, time to do it again. Start all over the next day. It's just not in my DNA to do that. Really, Bottom Boy? That's interesting. I didn't know that. In Call the Wild, trophy picks would be the place to put that, Connor. Oh, Danny's on it. Can you give us a tour of your trophy lodge? Well, I'm supposed to do that soon, huh? Maybe before the new map drops? When's the halfway point of the year? It's the end of June, right? Not the beginning of June? Yeah. Soon I'll do one. You nailed his impression? I told you I've watched some of his stuff. Like, he's... What was that deer? Dum Dum or something he named it? Like a 10-year-old buck that he chased forever. I watched that one. I watched his, the thing where the spear fell out of the tree and landed in his leg. He's lucky he survived that. But, you know, I watched a fair bit of his stuff. I just can't... I can only watch it for so long and I gotta click away. Like, it just cringes me to death. I don't know. I don't know, Jeff. Maybe Kenny Pickett's got some magic, but the AFC is stacked. I'm just hoping it's a good year to, you know, get some continuity with the rest of the team. Would love Greater Kudu to be added to Africa 2.0. I think if they do another Africa map and they don't do Greater Kudu, it would be an absolute shame. A lot of people, when Vurhonga released, felt like Greater Kudu were a big miss, like when they did Lesser Kudu instead. It'd be really unfortunate if they did do it again. Gonna get smoked by Miami? Oh yeah. Terrified of Tua. When was the last time the Steelers lost to the Dolphins? Been a long time. Maybe we can get Antonio Brown back to score like 50-yard touchdowns on screens. Bring Dupree back for a game to absolutely destroy Matt Moore. That was good times. Or Mika can get 2 picks again. You playing multiplayer right now? Nah, I just do single player. I've talked about this before. I haven't streamed Call the Wild in multiplayer outside of like 12-hour streams because it's usually a different circumstance. I haven't streamed Call the Wild in multiplayer in a really long time. And the reason is, unfortunately, some people like to ruin it by joining and saying terrible things in the chat that just can't be shown. Oh, that's lame warplane. What's your favorite trophy in real life? The buck I got last year. That one's definitely not recency biased. Like, it was a dream come true in all kinds of different senses, from, you know, having a buck that's going to be in the Pennsylvania record books. It's the second biggest non-typical shot in this county ever. So there's that side of it. Like, it was getting to shoot a deer on land I actually owned. Like, the fact that it was on my ground itself was just extra special. And it wasn't my first buck on film. Like, I filmed my 9-point in 2019, but it barely was on film. It was like with the Tacticam. In this particular instance, it was getting a little bit dark, as it tends to when deer are moving naturally. But I'm really proud of the footage, and that video, the real life hunting video, should be starting in July, about a month from now. So that one will be towards the end because it was like the end of the season, but you know, we're getting there. It'll be available hopefully before we know it. Why don't you use a face cam? I want people to stay here. I'll scare everybody away. Are you hunting lions? We're gonna go back for lions for probably the last 20 minutes or so. Trying to get down to that spot. That's one of the best areas for kudu in my experience. Once we get down there, we'll go back for lions. How do you feel about a realistic hunting game in VR? There is that game called Virtual Hunter. Now, it's far from realistic graphics-wise and stuff. I think probably, although Hunting Sim was in VR too. I don't know if Hunting Sim 2 was, but Hunting Sim, the original, was in VR. I think we might be a long way from like a really realistic VR hunting game, but it's going to happen one day, and it's probably going to be a big hit. I think we'll get closer to that. The first episode, bottom boy or the black one? Tyreek destroyed the Steelers last fall, and now he's on Miami. Yeah, the problem is the quarterback can only throw like 7 yards. I'm only saying this because Aston's here, by the way. I don't think Tua's that bad. I wouldn't be surprised if they lose that. Although, definitely Tua is not Mahomes, so I'm more optimistic there. He also... The Steelers had a lot of issues with Gronkowski over the years, so to some degree they would kind of still out to stop Kelsey because Gronk used to kill him and then Tyreek's wide open. That was a nasty two-headed monster the Chiefs had, and I can't believe they split it up, frankly. I just said the Tua... I forget what I said. Oh, somebody said Tyreek Hill destroyed the Steelers last fall, so now he's going to destroy them with the Dolphins, and I said the problem is his quarterback can only throw it 7 yards now. But I don't actually think he's that bad. I just say it because you're here. I'd like to put an Oculus Rift on and link it to my mouse. That was the other thing about like a really realistic hunting game. The way... So what you could do, probably, and it would severely limit like variety, but you could do like a VR hunting game that doesn't have like 12 different guns and equipment, because that's where the issue lies, right? Like it's all the different buttons for all your different inventory and stuff. If you didn't need a bunch of inventory switching buttons, you might be able to do it with just like the 2 controllers. Oh, that's lame, Colton. Tyreek says he throws a good ball, but if he didn't say that, you'd be alarmed, so like of course he said that. We'll see. I don't think he's going to be as bad as everybody's predicting, but who knows. If he can play bad for the Steeler game, I wouldn't be upset. Alright, that was almost dead. You think you'll get lucky with the new Great One? I feel like I'm due for like maybe slightly above average luck, because I was definitely slightly below average for my red deer. But, you know, that's not how luck works. It's random, so we'll see. It's going to be interesting. I'm curious to know how long it's going to take for somebody to get one until we know what the new Great One's going to be. And from there, you know, whenever the grind starts, I guess that's going to be the real question. Like, what time of year? Like, I would like to think, how long was Red Deer? And Red Deer was different. Like, Red Deer was a Great One update, was it not? It didn't come with, like, a new map. So everybody kind of knew to look for a Great One. I feel like we had, like, 3 days or something between release and then finding out what it was. This one could take longer because it's not just a Great One update. But, you know, the big thing for me with the Great One Red Deer was that they came out in hunting season, like in peak hunting season. I forget, I was hunting in November. I was in my tree stand when somebody posted one. I remember I was like, well, business decision, time to climb down and go make a video. So it definitely limited my ability to grind, and I would like to think with this one being potentially July-ish, I'll have more time to grind for it. Then again, I barely have time to, like, I don't play Call of the Wild much more than, like, streams, videos, and a little bit of grinding here and there. We'll see, though. Aiden Hutchinson's going to be a bust. I know nothing about him, so I'm not qualified to speak on this topic, but I do think that him being on the Lions does not improve his odds. Explain how the Broncos could do better with a zombie Manning than 2 healthy quarterbacks? Wait. Are we going back to 2015 now? Or 2014-ish? I'm trying to figure out what you're asking me. I think...
Just because Danny said something about the Broncos. So.
I mean, the important thing is Manning at the line of scrimmage is still arguably the best there ever was. Like, Brady, Manning, I don't know who's technically better, like, at the line, but, you know, even if Peyton's ability to throw it more than 7 yards was severely limited. He was still getting them into the right plays, the right checks, the right protection. Like, all that stuff still plays a factor. I want the Lions to do good. I kind of do too. I like, what do they call him on the Pat McAfee show at MCDC? I think he's probably the right fit for that culture. Goff's definitely not the answer. They need something else there. But I think they're heading in the right direction. Who was the Alabama receiver they got? I think that was a bit of a draft steal that'll help them a lot. You think they'll eventually add a great one for every species? I think small game might not have all species getting great ones, but I think a lot of species will. Like, you look at TruRACS, and the original plan had been to like get every species having TruRACS. All antler species now do, but TruRACS started in like May-ish, maybe even April of 2019. It took like, 3 years, and we still have a bunch of horned species that don't have TruRACS yet. So like, to do a great one, and that seems to be like once every 6 months we get one, if that, it's going to be a lot of years till we have a great one of every species, if that is indeed the plan. Jameson Williams, that's the one. I was thinking of John Mechie. He went to Houston? What do you think of the Way of the Hunter game? I'm excited for that one. I want to see more from it. We need a great one, Quail. No. Does that change your mind? Just remember, Goff went to the Super Bowl. I mean, so did Trent Dilfer. Just to be clear, you can get to the Super Bowl not by your own merits. Who was the other one? There's another, like, not good quarterback that made a Super Bowl and everybody memes that. Anyway, gonna have like 25 minutes to go and smoke some lions here. I have not, Danny. Why are you so obsessed with the number 12? It's honestly just a stupid joke that's gone way further than it ever should have, and now we've just embraced it. So it came from one of my moderators on Discord, who was the youngest moderator we had at the time. I think he was like 16 or 17. But for a little background, the terms of service for Discord require you to be at least 13 to have an account. So to, joke around with him, whatever, because he's the youngest, we'd say, like, you're just 12 years old or whatever, like, the joke being, like, you're too young to even have a Discord account. He wasn't. It was just a stupid joke. Somebody who didn't like him because he banned a friend or whatever, so this mod played into the whole 12 thing and said, like, I'm 12 in Discord. Somebody reported him for that and got his account banned, so therefore we think 12 is hilarious and bring it up on every possible occasion. Literally the day that happened, I really think this solidified it for me. The day that happened, I shot a minimum score Plains Bison on Yukon Valley. Take a guess what the minimum score for Plains Bison is. I'll give you a hint. It's between 11 and 13. What is the most impressive horns or antlers on any diamond in Call of the Wild? I'd say some moose, Rocky Mountain elk. Cape buffalo are up there. I don't know what the most impressive one is. For me, moose are always impressive as diamonds. Is Mr. Yeah, she was a he for sure back then. Did the mod return to the Discord eventually? Yeah. It took like half a dozen hoops to jump through though, because Discord was not believing that he wasn't 12, the poor guy. 11.9 to the 12th power, you got it. What is 12 to the 12th? That'd be a number worth knowing. Well, that sucks. Turn the other way. Other way right at the last second. Good ol' Ray McLeod. Couldn't think of a football player very fast. Ray Lewis would have been a good one. Ray Rice would not have. Are you happy with Kenny Pickett? Yeah, I think, you know, he's probably more of like a Alex Smith, Kirk Cousins kind of ceiling. Like, I don't think he's ever going to be all-time great, but he's drafted to a team that's got a pretty good defense. I think, honestly, an underrated running back. Najee Harris is a bowling ball, and the fact that he had 1,200 yards with no offensive line last year is nuts. I think he's probably set up for success, but, you know, in 8 years, would I be surprised if he's no longer on the team? No. But yeah, like, here's what it comes down to. A big portion of the NFL and football is business at the end of the day. And a big portion of business in the entertainment business is PR, is like the public's perception of what's going on. Any Steeler fan that's, I don't know, 50 or older, and there's quite a few NFL fans that are, you know, in that age class, they're going to remember in 1983, what draft was that? Whatever draft Dan Marino came out. He was Pitt's quarterback, and the Steelers could have taken him as Terry Bradshaw's replacement and didn't. And obviously he went on to be one of the all-time greats, never won a Super Bowl, unfortunately. But I think if the Steelers pass on Pickett, like the next, honestly, since Marino, the next actual good Pitt prospect, and then he turns out to be good, they would just get raked over the coals forever. Any variation of Kirk Cousins isn't a bad thing. Hey. Ask Amari Cooper. Is that who it was? Yeah. Almost any NFL running back can have 1,200 yards with 304 carries? Yes. I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm just saying he had literally no offensive line and was, like, I guess what I'm getting at is, if you watch his running style and the way that he's playing, with a little bit of help, he's like Derrick Henry light, which in his second year is pretty good. Like, he was consistently, I would love to know what his yards after contact were. Can we look that up? Let's see. We're talking football now, I apologize. Najee Harris, yak. Did that do what I wanted? Probably should have went to Pro Football Reference, not Yahoo, whatever the heck came up. 307 carries. Where is yards per game, average? Somebody's gonna find it before I do. Why don't I see it? That's a relevant stat. I feel like it's probably 2/3 of his yards were better. If I could ever figure out where it's at. Receiving yards, long, maybe they don't count it. Wait. Advanced rushing. It says 675 yards after contact. I'm surprised it's actually not a little bit higher than that. But it is upwards of 50%. I wonder what the normal percentage is. I don't know. It's kind of the eye test, I guess, for me. Like, I've seen a lot of decent running backs in Pittsburgh the last 15 years. From Jonathan Dwyer had a few good stints. Mendenhall was alright for a while. Obviously, Lev Bell was pretty good. James Conner was alright. But, I don't know, Najee just has a different vibe. Like, he's got that it factor as a bruiser running back that I think you need. Am I just smoking that tree? I absolutely am. No, he's dead now, right? No? Looks dead. Oh, he's just laying. Oh, right. Bro, what is this hitbox? Alright, I'm just gonna go over here. You're a Yahoo? Thank you. American football tackles are soft compared to rugby tackles. Rugby is a weird sport. I don't understand the arm blocking thing, but if I could understand it, I think it would be a lot of fun to watch. Because I don't understand the rules, every time I see it, I'm just like, what is happening? How long are we streaming for? Another 15 minutes. Or as long as it takes to make a shot on this dumb line. Mendenhall was a fumble machine. Yeah, he cost the Steelers the Super Bowl 45. I mean, he didn't... The defense was doing nothing, to be fair. But they were on the comeback trail, much like Super Bowl 30. Like, they got beat up pretty bad in the first half, and they started to fight their way back. And they had some goofy triple option 2-point conversion play. And they made that. And I was like, oh my, they're going to come back and win this game. Like, they have all the momentum. The Packers are just, they can't get anything going right now. And then Mendenhall fumbled. I was young, so I would make excuses for anybody on the Steelers because obviously the Steelers can do no wrong. Mendenhall ran into a camera guy earlier in that game. I wonder if because it did hit his right arm, like significantly on a camera, which I'm sure didn't feel good, but I don't think that makes you fumble. Never forget the year I took Le'Veon first overall. He sat out. I picked Connor up and he ran wild all season. You know, if that version of James Conner, and maybe it was the offensive line more so than Connor himself, if he could have stayed around, or if he could have kept up that form, I should say, he did seem to be really good, but I've seen this with a lot of Steelers running backs. Willie Parker did it. Mendenhall did it. When they don't have the starting job, they fight for every yard. Jonathan Dwyer did a little bit of this. They'd, fall forward, get 3 more yards, really, fight for the yards every play. But then when they're the starter, they're kind of just falling down. And I understand live to fight another down or whatever the saying is, but I've seen that so many times, and Najee just has like a will not be denied attitude that I think is kind of necessary in today's NFL. And I know how the running back market works. He's probably going to be gone in the next 4 years, and I'll be sad, but I don't know. He's fun to watch. Got one of those you never know what move he's going to break out next to get away from a tackler type of things. I don't know, Acid. I think so. One of the other Steeler records got broken from a Super Bowl. Oh, you know what it was? It was Percy Harvin's kick return, I think. Because James Harrison had the longest touchdown in a Super Bowl full stop. Didn't defense, offense, special teams. Because what was that guy's name for the Packers? Howard? Had a kick return touchdown that was 98? But I think that's what it was. I think Parker still has it. Benny Snell? Oh my. Listen, kid's got heart, but he's not an NFL running back. I don't know why he's still there. What's up? Huh? Oh, what's up, Maytech? He wasn't in my chat yet when he said that. That was weird. You think the NFL is scripted? No. It can't be. I understand the theories about it and stuff, and to a degree, right, there could be some, maybe I don't know, the NFL higher-ups want X team to win, so the refs favor them a bit, but at least, there's zero chance the players and coaches are in on it, because there's too much parity. There's no way the Patriots would have won 6 Super Bowls in 10 years or 20 years if it was scripted. They just wouldn't have. Why would, if the NFL were to pick a market to win 6 Super Bowls in 20 years, it ain't New England. It would be New York. It would be LA. It doesn't make any sense for it to be like that. So could the refs be on it? Yeah. I don't think they are, but the NFL as a whole is definitely not. Listen to you. Hello? Lions everywhere. Oh, that was bad. Lucky if that's intestines. Desmond Howard, that's the one, thank you. I was gonna say Dwight Howard. That is a person, but I think it's a basketball player. You should try playing Elden Ring on stream, but it's just not my type of game. I wouldn't be good at it. I wouldn't enjoy the stream. Refs may control it some, but all those players are trying their best to earn a living. Yeah, like, it's like, I mean, for all of them, it really is living a dream. Like, they grow up from the time they're, you know, probably like, who knows, 6, 7 years old, playing in Pop Warner. How old do you gotta be to do that? And probably all through grade school, all through high school, all through college. All they want to do is win a ring. All they want to do is be the best in their position. Like, they can't, you can't have guys fake that forever and nothing comes out. Like the Miami thing. John, that's not his name. Is it? Ross. Is it John Ross? It's not. John Ross was a player. Owner of the Dolphins, Mr. Ross. I can't think of his name. If he really was paying Flores to lose, then like that's a major issue to the integrity of the game. Like, that's, I don't know. It could be such a big issue, and I think that's the closest it's ever come to being rigged. And it's rigged in the, you know, a team that really wasn't going anywhere crazy to lose, if anything. Jon Snow, yes. Seems the Chiefs were scripted to lose the Bengals, shut them out the first half, and then can't make a play in the second half. I mean, that happens to a lot of teams all the time, though. And the reason... Here's what's maybe lost on stuff like that. Because I saw the Steelers do this, like, 10 different times last year. For one, most teams have a script of about 20 plays, and I'm not saying like a scripted situation. I'm talking like the offensive coordinator comes up with about 20 plays that if all goes to plan, they're going to run those 15 to 20 plays in a row, and they're going to go score a touchdown, and maybe on their second drive they're going to go. They stop scripting plays after that because it's kind of pointless. Like, there's so many factors into the game that things are going to change from their script anyway. Oftentimes that script won't work, but when it does, yeah, you might have a team that jumps out to a 14-0 lead. And then there is some back and forth chess match and stuff. But the reason that you see a bunch of second half comebacks like that is, for one, it's the stamina, right? Like a defense that's been on the field over and over because the offense keeps scoring, they're going to start to tire. They're going to start to struggle. And I think the other side of it really is like adjustments. And was that not... Didn't the Bengals play a different defense in that second half? I don't know. Anytime that I see a big comeback like that, the last thing I'm thinking of is scripted. Because the NFL, I think, and I could be wrong, but I think they would get better overall numbers from a close game throughout than a blowout at the beginning that then becomes a late comeback. Because a bunch of people are going to turn it off at halftime or like at the end of the third quarter. They want the best numbers. It's a money-making thing at the end of the day, right? Or when Tom Brady's losing by a lot and almost always makes a comeback. Well, it is hard to be like, yeah, every team gets stupid against him. But genuinely, think about this, right? You're Kyle Shanahan. Sorry, Falcons and Kyler. You're Kyle Shanahan. You're like, I don't know, 30 years old? Maybe not even that. You're playing in the Super Bowl against somebody who, at least at the time, is at least in the conversation for like the greatest quarterback of all time. You're an offensive play caller. The pressure to not mess that up is massive. And it can be really easy to just get out of your normal groove and call dumb plays, which they did. Like, and Matt Ryan didn't help by taking those couple of sacks and everything that happened in there. What was the other one that I was going to mention? Oh, the Seattle thing. If that works, obviously, who was the coordinator for that? He had the Jets job. Oh, what the heck? He's the son of a good coach, too. I can't think of the name of the guy. What I'm getting at, though, is, like, you can make dumb plays when you're against somebody who's in the conversation with the greatest of all time. Like, a couple of you know, tuck roll type calls. Brady's got all these rings, and you're thinking, like, in the back of your head, like, I gotta make sure that we don't just keep giving the ball back because Brady's over there. He could still pull this out because he keeps on doing it, right? I think it's a lot of that. I really do. And listen, I am not a Brady apologist. For a lot of years, I hated the guy. Now I'm just like, God dang it. He just keeps doing this. He must actually be good. He can't get lucky that many times. I don't know. I think it's just humans being humans. No, I didn't see that, bottom boy. Hey, thank you, Thunder Turtle. What did that say? I stand by the sentiment that a face game really takes away from this game. I mean, what I would ideally like it to be, because, like, look, here's my hands out in front of the screen. You guys are seeing my perspective, and I'm just here talking. That's the way that I look at it. Who completely ruled over? The Chiefs or the Falcons? Brady's bad because he's good? Okay. This is a conspiracy. Brady's 45 and doing things at an insane level. If he's taken some kind of something that isn't caught in drug test to make him be able to perform at that level at that age, it wouldn't shock me. But in terms of, like, just what he's doing on the field, like, he's still as good as it is. If the Chiefs had put up any fight in the second half, I'd be more inclined to believe you. Okay, you're talking about the Chiefs, I see it now. I really don't remember the game that well. Did they not come back and tie the game, though, to force overtime? They did, right? They did, yeah, and then Mahomes threw an interception. Like, it wasn't as if they just stopped doing anything. They actually had to go get points to even take it into overtime, and then he threw the pick. I think. That's my memory of it. And maybe in the Bills game. Can forever talk about football? If I was not 5'2", if I was not 5'8" and 135 pounds, I would have at least tried to play football, like, in college and stuff. Like, I enjoy the sport, like the team aspect, all that, the strategy that goes into it. I'm just unfortunately not cut out to play, so I just talk about it. Brady is snorting Flintstone gummies. Hey, you gotta do. There's a thicken. It's a female, but oh god, what a shot. It's fine. Everything's fine. Chiefs beat the Bills in OT? Yes. Chiefs and Bills is rigged? Nah.
It's not fair to me.
They changed the overtime rules.
I know they did, and I'm glad. But I mean, it's like, whoever probably would have got the win would have won.
I fall on the other side of that. Because I talk about this all the time. Like, I don't... Okay. That Rams-Chiefs game years ago that ended like 54-51, ton of fun to watch, right? But generally, I prefer games that are like 20-17 or like 21-20. I like close games with some offense. You know, 3-0 is a little extreme, but I like defense, and I think that if you're going to be a complete team, then you should be able to stop a full length of the field drive once. I don't know. I do understand, like, the argument that came from that Bills-Chiefs game. Like, literally nobody was stopping anybody. Of course, whoever won the coin toss was going to win the game, and that was probably the case. That doesn't change the fact that in the first 60 minutes of the game, there were things that could have been done better to prevent that from happening. Just the way it goes. I don't know. Everybody's got a different perspective on that, and I get that, but I think it's a team sport. It's not an offense sport. And yeah, like, everything's tilted towards offense now, so maybe it makes sense to change the rule for that, but why do you field a defense if it's essentially irrelevant as to what they do in the first drive? Like, of course, if they make a stop, it's still good, but you're making a stop not as important. I really did enjoy that game, Acid. You know, another random Dolphins fact. The Dolphins gave up like a 79-yard touchdown reception to Heath Miller. Slowest man in history. Bills Chiefs was the greatest game I've ever seen. It was definitely top tier. I would have preferred more defense, but again, that's just me. That was a fun game to watch. It was a lot of back and forth. That's what you want, right? Like back and forth, lead changes. The last 2 minutes was just insane. Green Bay needs to work on their defense. Well, they didn't bother drafting a receiver very high, so they got a couple of defensive guys. Picked off by ex-Chief Marcus Peters in that game to end it against the Rams. Against the Rams. I don't recall which game you're referring to now. Thought Jason Witten was the slow... Yeah, you got a point. But they were both... Jason Witten and Heath Miller were literally the exact same player. Witten just kind of lasted a little bit longer. Good blockers. Would catch a pass for 7 yards and fall forward for 3 and get a 10-yard gain just about every time. Like, I vividly remember this, and then we'll wrap up the stream. The Steelers were playing the Saints, and they were driving to try to go tie the game or win the game or something. And one of the only times I ever saw Heath Miller try to make a move and, like, get past the defender instead of just, like, head down, fall forward, he fumbled, and I never saw him do it again. Hey, I know exactly what play you're talking about, Jeff. Who was calling that game? Who is that? Deep voice. The guy, it was like a 3rd and 14 or 3rd and 17, and Roethlisberger had the most earth-shaking, ugliest run for a first down in history, but it was hilarious. No, not Joe Buck. I almost want to say... Gumball? Have you ever heard of pickleball? Yeah, it's a fun game. Kevin Harlan, yeah, he's the one. He doesn't call a lot of their games. A lot of times we get Iron Eagle. Used to get Greg Gumbel. Who's the guy with Dan Fouts? Is that Iron Eagle now? It's all changed. Speaking of fumbled, Niners QB threw the ball down instead of up. You see that on occasion where guys lose grip on the ball. It's interesting, like how the rolling ends up on those. Anyway, how old is Aaron Rodgers? 39? 38, 39? Probably 39. All right, last thing, and then we'll wrap up. Did you ever like baseball? I played baseball for like 3 or 4 years, from like age 5 to 8 or something. I was really little, and then I played 1 year in high school. It's fun, but I don't know. It was never my thing for very long. Anyway, he was never down. You are correct. That is going to do it for the stream. We did get ourselves a rare lion, so I guess we can go back in the trophy lodge and place that somewhere into our second lodge. What is Kyla's favorite thing to hunt in the game?
It used to be fallow deer, and then red deer, but now I like hunting fox of any kind, like gray fox or
That's because you get
I
cool
like
rares.
shooting them from 300 meters with a 243 and making a perfect shot. And you get nervous when I do that. With my gray fox diamonds.
Was I watching?
Yeah, you said I was crazy with that.
Well, I didn't have one at the time. So I was like, what are you doing? Yeah, you had... I got a cool one though, so it's fine.
Oh, what a flex. My 2 tones is still pretty.
I know.
Pretty diamond.
Mahomes was picked off by Marcus, who had just been released by the Chiefs in the Rams-Chiefs game. Oh, because he's on the Ravens now, and I was thinking he's in the AFC still. What are you talking about? But yeah, he wasn't on the... Okay, I got you now. Anyway, nice to get a rare on that ground. It does feel like things are still happening there. Hopefully we can get a rare female. Maybe we'll come back for a video this week. We shall see. But, whose birthday? Mini Ninja, happy birthday, man. Hope you're having a good one. And on that note, that is going to do it for this stream. So as always, thank you guys for watching. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for all the support. Thanks for putting up with football talk for those of you that don't enjoy it as much. And I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Bye!